grab your cup. I think most people would love to feel like they have a bit more power and control in their life in terms of creating what they want, creating the experiences, creating the relationships that they would love to have. But instead, many people, at least who respond to me here on social media, people I talk to in my life, and absolutely my clients, because that's a big reason why we do the work together that we do, most people feel like other people, their experiences, other people's criticisms, other people's emotions, other people's judgments, the experiences that they've had have been really what's been in control of their life, right? So I want to give you one thing to start to pay attention to. This is not the be-all and end-all of getting your life back to where you want it, where you're really creating it on your terms. But this is a place to start. And what I want you to pay attention to is really the languaging and the words that you use when you describe other people or experiences, either to yourself or if you were speaking out loud to someone. So here's what I mean. Think of maybe a time in your life, maybe a relationship. Let's do that because it's a little more tangible to talk about. A relationship in your life that was really going great. Maybe it was a marriage that in the end ended in divorce. Maybe it's a relationship that feels like the one that got away, right? Someone from years ago. And when you think of that, you would say things like, they were so funny. They always cracked me up. They were so spontaneous. We had such a good time because they were spontaneous. Maybe you say things like, that was the best sex. When I was with them, that was the best sex I ever had in my life. Whatever it is that you say. And when you say it like that, like those few examples I just gave, what you're doing is putting the responsibility and the power into that person's hands, like they were the ones who created that experience. And now you're sad because you can't get that experience again, because it ended, because you think you'll never feel that way. What would help to shift everything back to you is to say things like, who was I when I was with that person? Who was I when spontaneity showed up? I was open and receiving. Who was I when great sex was available? I stepped into and I participated and I shared myself. Who was I when laughter and fun was there? I decided to join in. When you start to say it like that, when you say, who was I about anything in your life? Who was I at a job that really moved me forward? Who am I being now that I could shift to be more like that? So back to the example of the relationship, if you're feeling like it's never going to come again, start to be who you were on the other end of that relationship. Because when you give all of the power to that person, then you're forgetting your part in it. Now look, it also happens the other way. Those were all examples about when something great was going on. If you think of an example when somebody was really hurtful, when somebody was always controlling you, when somebody was always criticizing you, they always talked down to me, they always belittled me, they always made me feel like I wasn't good enough. The same rule applies. When you talk about it like that, you're giving them the power. But guess what? No one can criticize you, no one can talk down to you, no one can belittle you without your agreement. And that's where you get your power back. How did I allow that to happen? How did I silently be in agreement with what they were saying? When something hurts like that, it's because there's somewhere that we believe it's true. Somebody's saying something to us and we believe that it's true. When you start to look there, that's when you get your power back. And the agreement and the belief that it's true comes from how you decided to see yourself a long, long time ago. So take a look at your languaging, take a look at where you give your power away, and start to own who were you in the great things and the great relationships and the great experiences, and who were you in the not so great ones. And when you start to own that, this is how I was, this is how I showed up, this is how I contributed to a really great, fun, connected relationship. This is how I contributed to when it broke down. And you start to look there, that's when you get the first steps on creating your life. If you want to know more about that, the Return to You program is a core foundational program that I do deep work on that with my clients. So if you want to have some more information about that, drop me in the comments and I will send you a link to a masterclass that you can watch, and or if you want to have a call with me and talk about it, I can send you a link to book that call as well. It's a free call. Okay? Have a great day.